A violent incident in Bali where a British tourist assaulted a local taxi driver without a provocation, causing significant facial injuries. In response, a mob of fellow taxi drivers brutally attacked the tourist using makeshift weapons. Actually, what happened? Now let's deep dive into this AI podcast.
Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into quite a disturbing incident that happened in Bali. It involves a British tourist, Brandon Joseph. He's 30 years old. And he was apparently attacked by a mob of local taxi drivers.
Yeah, this was early Thursday morning, wasn't it, at the Savaya car park in Badung, which is, a pretty popular tourist spot.
Exactly. So what we've got are news reports, some eyewitness accounts from local media, and our aim here is really just to piece together the sequence of events, understand what reportedly happened without, taking any sides, stick to the facts as reported.
Right. So the report suggests it all kicked off with a local taxi driver, Herlindo Emmanuel Nini, who's 31. He offered Joseph a ride. Joseph had just got out of a white van.
And then what? The reaction seems immediate.
Well, this is the striking part. Allegedly, Joseph just turned and punched Herlindo straight in the face. No provocation mentioned in the reports we saw.
Wow. Okay. And it didn't stop there?
Apparently not. Herlindo was allegedly hit again. Reports say he ended up with broken front teeth, bloodied face, pretty nasty.
Right. So that initial violence seems to be the trigger for, well, everything that followed.
It looks that way. The other taxi drivers saw this happen or saw the immediate aftermath, and they rushed over. It seems like they were defending Herlindo. You see that kind of group response sometimes.
And things got chaotic fast. There's video footage, right?
Yeah, the footage reportedly shows Joseph, shirtless, just wearing black shorts, surrounded by this group, and they were attacking him using, planks of wood, stones, basically makeshift weapons.
Goodness. And wasn't there someone else involved too?
Yeah, another guy in beige trousers, he sort of got caught in the middle of it all and apparently got beaten as well. It wasn't clear initially what his connection was.
Just caught in the fray?
Seems like it. And Joseph tried to get away back into that white van he arrived in.
But the mob went after the van too.
They did. Pelted it with rocks, hit it with sticks. Though, interestingly, someone on the video was apparently shouting at them to stop damaging the van, saying it belonged to someone else, that the issue was just with the tourist.
That's specific. It suggests maybe the anger was focused, at least for that person shouting.
Possibly. It shows maybe some awareness even in that chaos, not just blind destruction.
So eventually the police showed up.
Right. Police arrived, broke up the crowd, and they arrested Brandon Joseph.
Okay. And was he injured?
Yeah, he was taken to Bali Jimbaran Hospital first, then moved to the police station for questioning. Images show him with a head bandage, so definitely injured.
And the taxi driver, Herlindo.
Reports mention multiple facial injuries and, as we said, a broken tooth. Significant injuries, too.
So the police are investigating now.
Yes. The police spokesperson confirmed the assault on the taxi driver by the UK national. The South Kuta police chief said investigations are ongoing.
And are they looking into both sides?
Mm-hmm.
The initial alleged assault by Joseph and the mob's actions?
That seems to be the case. They need to determine if charges will be filed against Joseph and also whether any of the locals involved in the mob attack will face consequences. It's still unfolding.
It really makes you think, though, about how quickly an alleged act of aggression can just spiral. One moment it's an argument or a punch. The next, it's mob violence.
Absolutely. It shows how powerful group emotions can be. That feeling of shared grievance can lead people to do things together they might never do alone. That line between, say, defending someone and becoming a violent mob is, well, it can be incredibly thin and crossed very fast.
And you have to wonder, especially in a tourist hotspot like Bali, does this hint at any underlying tensions between
Yes.
locals and tourists?
It's a valid question. These incidents don't happen in a vacuum. There's always a socioeconomic context, potential friction points when different cultures, different expectations collide.
Yeah, different perspectives. What the taxi driver thought was happening versus the tourist versus the crowd reacting.
Exactly. Everyone involved probably experienced those moments very differently.
It definitely leaves you with a lot to consider about conflict, group behavior, and just how fast things can escalate. Something to maybe reflect on how those initial moments of anger or perceived injustice can explode if not managed. Food for thought.
Who was more at fault in this incident? The British tourist or the mob of local drivers? Comment it. Thanks.